So in this vlog, I wanted to go back to the topic that I'd covered in my last vlog. So when people hear messages that they don't fully understand or messages that they interpret incorrectly, it actually can, it can actually trigger people. Like I know that people are triggered by certain things that other people say because they don't really understand what they're saying and they interpret it wrongly. So I wanted to try to be as clear as I possibly can. So I want to actually go back to what I said in my last vlog and make sure that I've covered it correctly. So when I say things like I don't think that speech should be censored, it's really easy to take that the wrong way. So someone might come up to me and say, you encourage hate speech. And that's not what I'm saying at all. So I want to be clear. I want to be clear about my position. All right. So personally, do I think we should have hate speech? No. So do I think hate speech is good? No, I don't think hate speech is good. I respect people's right to be hateful if that's what they want to do. So I respect people's right to be hateful, even if I don't like the fact that they're being hateful, is more what I'm saying, because what happens is that we sometimes, a person is not being hateful, they're being truthful, and a person can say that person is being hateful when in reality they're not being hateful at all, they're being truthful. So I think that what happens is that people try to blend these two things together. So it's like if you ever tell the truth then they say you're being hateful. So it's kind of like, so one of the things you realize from gang stalking is how manipulative basically the entire world is. And that's how people keep control of things. Like the reason why these people have control is because they're masters at manipulating people. Like they'll take something that you said that they didn't like and then turn it into what they want it to be and sell it to basically the entire world. And that's what I'm against. So would I ever hate any ethnic group of people? No, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Jews, blacks, or anybody. There's no hate. Like I don't go out, I don't go out into the world and say, unless it's the gang stalkers. I mean, the gang stalkers, that's a completely different thing. But my message, I don't put messages out in the world that encourage hate. So we know how devastating negative emotions are to your spirit. So the reason why the gang stalkers are always trying to make us negative is because it's bad for us to be negative. So why would I want people to hate another group of people? Isn't that what the gang stalkers want? They want people to, hate each other. They want us to hate them. So they were the ones who were spreading all this hate. So what happens is that, like I said, I think I tried to cover this properly in the last vlog I made. So personally, I don't agree with any hate speech towards anybody or any group, and that includes poor people. And I want to be honest, there are plenty of people who claim to be against hate speech and they mistreat and talk badly and condemn people for not having a lot of money or something. That's horrible. That's horrible. The way they treat poor people, and they do treat poor people as less than human. These are not good people. These are not good people. I mean, they're not. So that's hate speech. So the point is that there's there's an agenda, and it is not them being good people or nice people. They're fine hating helpless people. You should see how they treat the poor. These would be helpless people who are good people and didn't do anything to them, and they hate them. These are not good people. I mean, so the point is that I don't agree with any hate, but I respect people's right to hate. Because if you start telling people that they can't hate, then you could combine people's being honest with people being hateful. Then you start merging those two together. So it's if you weren't hateful at all, you said something that someone simply didn't like and you were being truthful and honest and there was no hate intended. Well, if you didn't like that message, you can turn it into hate, or you say it was hate, and then, that's what I was basically talking about in the last vlog that I made. So personally, I don't spread anything hateful at all. I'm not even hateful towards the gang stalkers. Like, I honestly I don't even like being hateful towards these gang stalkers. So my position on hate is pretty clear. I mean, when they come after me, I mean, I dislike what they do so much that I feel like it's almost human nature for me to lash out at them and just, despise them, because it's human nature once people are attacking you to want to, do something about it, to want to defend yourself. But I am not for any hate speech, but I understand that if you try to censor free speech, that's dangerous. So my thing is, you can't safely take away people's right to expression without, it being like some sort of fascism or something. I don't know. So the point is that you can't do that safely. Once you say that a person cannot say a certain thing, then you can manipulate it. So I'm basically afraid of good people trying to stand up to bad people, and people basically telling them that they can't do it. So that was kind of the point I wanted to make. So I wanted to be clear in my vlog that regardless of how I feel about people's speech, they have the right to say it. Now, I mean, there will be things like you shouldn't encourage violence, like if you were saying hurt people. And I think I covered that in the vlog, my last vlog. Like anything that is like violent, like if I say, well, we got to go out there and just start, wasting people or something. I mean, that's completely different than me saying I don't support you. So the Dilbert guy, I think he created Dilbert, like the Dilbert creator or whatever. I think that's the name of the newspaper sketcher. I listened to what he said. It sounds offensive, but I mean, what I think he was saying is that we should just like the white people and the black people should just leave each other alone. Now, is that hateful? I don't know. I mean, it may not be the best message. I don't know. I mean, I think that Malcolm X said something similar. I mean, maybe he's saying that because, Malcolm X actually thought that black people should separate voluntarily. And he believed that we needed communities like what the Koreans and stuff have. Like their Korean towns, like we would just like build up our own community. I don't know if he was saying something similar to that. I mean, the point is that you cannot just force people to see things the way you want them to see things is the point. Not everybody's going to like the black culture. Not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to like poor people. I mean, they're just not going to like these people. And when it's the people that they don't like and everybody's on the same page regardless, just like if you were super poor, you see how these people treat poor people, the liberals, the wealthy liberals, they spit on these people. There's nothing right about that. They spit on them. These would be the same people saying that we should support groups like Black Lives Matter. They spit on poor people, spit on them. These would be innocent people who did nothing. Judge them. I mean, these are not good people is the point. That's why I think that if they can be hateful, why can't other people be hateful in their speech? They talk badly about people who cannot defend themselves. It's just not their people, quote unquote, their people. So I think that's what I'm saying. So their people, so they had good relationships with black people. That's the only reason they're saying, okay, these black people are working out for us, so let's protect them. If you're poor, you're not doing anything for anybody, so you can be hateful. So it's not about morality. It's about their own agendas, their own personal, their own personal stuff or viewpoints. It's nothing fair about it. So I'm like, okay, well, people are going to be hateful, and nobody's going to regulate that or be able to completely regulate hate. If they're not hateful towards blacks, they'll be hateful towards poor people, or hateful. So some group is going to be hated on, or gypsies, or somebody's going to get hated on. Somebody's going to get discriminated against. You can't control that. So I don't understand exactly what the liberals that I know of, like, I don't want to just take sides or anything, but I don't know exactly what the liberal media or whatever is trying to accomplish with this, other than to say these are our people, our group, and we're protecting them because there are people in our group. So they're not trying to get rid of hate. They're simply trying to protect their own. So I think that was the overall point I was making. So I wanted to be clear about that. I don't go against any group personally. That's a choice that I made. People are hateful towards us, and they can be that way. They can be hateful. They're going to be hateful towards groups. I'm telling you, any group that somebody doesn't like is going to get hate. So we're not getting rid of hate by controlling speech. They will be hateful. They will be hateful towards us for whatever reason they want, whether it's because we don't make a lot of money or we don't live life the way they think we should. Every group gets hated on. And that's just it. You cannot regulate that. The only thing these people are doing is taking sides or saying that this is our group of people who we like. Therefore, we're protecting these people because we like them. We like them. That's it. It's not about right or wrong. That's the point. I said, well, okay, you like this group of people, but this other group of people doesn't like this group of people. And they like this group of people. Republicans are like poor people and not want them to be discriminated against. Liberals that hate poor people want to discriminate against them. And you see what I mean here? Like they would say because of the Bible, we shouldn't be mistreat poor people. Liberals will spray them with hoses like they did the black people in the 60s and not feel any guilt about that. Because it's, that's just how it is. And then Republicans will say, I don't like this particular group. And they'll say, well, I like this group and you're the bad guy. See, it's chaos. And there's nothing fair about any of it. So hopefully that makes sense. And until next vlog, peace everybody.